Good Sunday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Sunday. I am your meteorologist, Peterson. Let's go in and talk about the weather for your Sunday evening going into your future. We have made it to another start of a work week, and so obviously, when that happens, we have a lot of stuff goes on over here. Number one, we're going to be talking about this week's forecast for the week of Sunday, August the 24th, for at least the nighttime, going into Saturday, August the 30th of 2025. So that's what we are going to talk about tonight. And this is obviously the last full week of August, and then we will be in September again. This is the last full week of August. So next week, Sunday, is the last day of August for next week, and then that Monday is September 1st. And so, obviously that's just what the week's looking like there. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure you go in and do so. We are at 580 subscribers. We are 20 subscribers away from that main goal of 600 subscribers. Again, 20 subscribers away from that main goal of 600. So let's go on and get there because we're only 20 away. We are only 20 away. We can go on. We can continue to keep on pushing there. But with that out the way, let's go on and talk about the weather. So, for current conditions right now, we do in fact have some rainfall going on up here inside of the upstate of South Carolina that goes from Sandy Springs, South Carolina, over into Townville to Fairplay, also into Central, up into 6 Mile easily, and then going up towards Greer, South Carolina, and Simpsonville. Rainfall is moving on through there as we speak. And for the most part, that's all that's really going on for the state. If we go on and see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we have rainfall going in from North Carolina, Virginia to West Virginia, Pennsylvania getting some of that rainfall, as well as New York. Rainfall also going on in Michigan, the UP in Michigan, going down into Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. Severe weather going on in Texas and Oklahoma, as well as Colorado. And then we also have some rainfall that goes on from California to Utah, Nevada, Arizona, just all the Four Corners region going up into Wyoming. And so, for the most part, the U.S. is actually pretty active right now, especially in terms of that rainfall. Now, if we go into cloud cover, for cloud cover right now, we actually do, in fact, have some cloud cover, but it's mainly up there inside of the upstate. The upstate obviously has a lot of that cloud cover, and some of that's from, obviously, the shower and downpour activity that's going on over there. But just some other clouds that are just there in general. And if you go to our cloud cover for the future, as we go on and push this forward, you can see that cloud cover in the upstate will kind of intensify a little bit more, and we may even see some cloud cover going on inside of the low country, Midland area. This is tomorrow morning right here at 7 o'clock in the morning, where you can see some cloud cover inside the Midlands, and then even going inside of the Western PD, we have some cloud cover over there. If we continue to push this forward, things clear out a little bit as we go into like late tomorrow morning. Where we have cloud cover still going on inside the upstate, though, but cleared up a lot, especially over in the low country areas. But that cloud cover will again try to come right back as you go more into the afternoon. So, for the most part, cloud cover is going to be pretty inconsistent. It's not going to be all one thing for the main part. Current temperatures right now, 80 in Columbia, 79 in Orangeburg, and even 78 in Summerville, 78 in Georgetown, and even 80 in Murrells Inlet, 81 in Myrtle Beach, and 79 in Conway, 81 in Charleston, and 79 in Aiken, also 77 in Greenwood, 75 also inside of Greenville, Lawrence, 77 in Clemson, 76 in Spartanburg, and 74 in Gaffney, 75 in York, and 76 in Rock Hill. Low temperatures for tonight, around 65 in Greenville, 66 in Spartanburg, and even 67 in Rock Hill, 67 in Winsboro and Newberry, and even 70 in Columbia, 70 in Orangeburg, and 70 in Sumter, 70 in Florence, and 73 in Myrtle Beach, 71 in Georgetown, and 71 in Moncks Corner, 73 in Charleston, and 69 in Walterboro, Barnwell, Aiken, and 75 in Hilton Head Island. For your precipitation, look at this reduced amount of precipitation here that we have. Only like 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch. Yes, for some regions we do. But 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch goes for places like Anderson, going into Lawrence, going into Greenwood. Also, Areas like Myrtle Beach have that 100th of an inch to a tenth of an inch. Tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch goes from Moncks Corner, potentially Charleston, and Hilton Head Island. And there are some other regions that might see like an isolated half an inch of rainfall. It's possible with some of these shower and downpour activities as they move through. Again, this goes from tonight going to tomorrow. So I might say how much precipitation that we might get tomorrow, especially if there's already a lot of rainfall activity going on in the upstate. The crazy score for tonight, we're at a 13. Probably the calmest that we've seen it in a while. At a 13, no significant weather is expected. We will have the chance for some, like a very low patchy fog risk in the low country of South Carolina. It's there, but it's not going to be that widespread. It's going to be relatively isolated in terms of patchy fog activity. Obviously, no flood risk, and then we'll talk about everything else in just a second. But with the SPC outlook first, they did just release the new one. The new one, it's not that updated, really. This was the one at 8 o'clock in the morning. This is the new one right here, which actually, it didn't change at all. The only thing that it actually seemed like it did change was it actually added a little more up there in North Carolina. But for the most part, thunderstorms are still possible up there in the upstate and the northern Midlands, especially as rainfall activity is still going on up there, especially in the upstate. Tomorrow, that thunderstorm activity goes more into the low country and the Grand Strand. So from the low country all the way up into the Grand Strand, from Myrtle Beach all the way up into the inland Horry County regions, you have that thunderstorm activity that is possible. And then day 3 for Tuesday, August the 26th, no severe weather, no thunderstorms, nothing like that is expected on Tuesday. Things can change. This is only 3 days out, but for now, no thunderstorms are expected on Tuesday, which again, be a long time in a while that we've seen that. And one other thing that's also been a long time since we've seen is we have no excessive rainfall. No excessive rainfall for tonight, none for tomorrow, none for Tuesday, none for Wednesday, and none for Thursday. Let's go and give a round of applause for that. The first time in a while that we've seen that, no excessive rainfall is expected for the state through the next 5 days for now. Things can change by tomorrow. You can see potentially a day 3 added, a day 2. It just matters on what happened with the models and what changes it. But for now, I can say no excessive rainfall is expected. And let's go on and look at the models though. So this is it for 9 p.m. We're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. Make sure you go in and pay attention to the time in the top right corner of your screen. You see the rainfall activity that we got going on inside of the upstate. That will continue, and it will start to get a little bit more on the isolated side, especially in portions still of the upstate, even going into the northern Midlands by around 3, 4, 5 a.m. And then by this time, we're nice and dry. Going into the morning hours tomorrow, going into the early afternoon. And then once we get to around 2 p.m., we start to see some shower and downpour activity, but again, relatively isolated. And this will mainly go for the coastal regions. Coastal regions for sure will have that chance for some isolated shower and potentially storm activity. Again, that goes from the low country to the Grand Strand as rainfall and thunderstorm activity is possible tomorrow. That goes all the way from 10, 11, 12 a.m. Things, still going on, but again, relatively quiet. We're not seeing too much go on at all. If we continue even to the nighttime hours, we stay dry. Then 7 a.m. on August the 26th for Tuesday comes along, and you may see like a little isolated sprinkle or two up there in the upstate, but for the most part, we stay dry. And so now that we know that we have a quiet short-term future, which was expected, obviously we've had the high pressure moving. We have the cold front that's moving through tonight. If you remember, cold front was moving through tonight. And so as you just continue to push this forward into like the end of the week, this is for August the 29th. We finally start to see some rainfall activity start to come back on the 28th, the 29th-ish. Now, that does not mean that rainfall activity won't happen, but it's a lot quieter. But through the 28th, the 29th, even through the 30th and the 31st, I mean, you're seeing some activity, but not a whole bunch. But once we get to September the 1st, you can see month might start off with a bang here as we start to see a low pressure kind of move through, and then potentially another system move over there from the west, and as it moves its way east through September the 4th into September the 5th, September the 6th, and then once we get to around that September the 6th time frame, you can't really go any further than that. We can look at patterns though, and it seemed like that we may have some storm system maybe trying to move through during sometime in early September, but that's just what we're looking at for that time frame. Everything else though, I mean, September seems to start off active, but the rest of August seems to be relatively quiet, maybe except for a couple of days like we were talking about, maybe August the 29th, maybe. Could be a little bit active, but for the rest of August, it seems relatively, for at least this last week of August, it looks relatively on the quieter side. So that's it for our long-term future and also our outlook for the weekend for the start of September. So let's go in and talk about what's going on in terms of the week. So we're going to talk about this week. We're going to go into thermodynamics first, which is obviously rainfall. And if we go in and start this off right here, you can see that we do in fact have cooler than average temperatures that are expected. I don't think that anyone's really too surprised by that. Obviously, because we have that cold front that's moving in tonight that will sustain all the way through the majority of the week. And so it will be a cooler week. Now, will it be cooler in terms of, we'll have highs in the 60s and the 70s? Most likely not. But those high temperatures for some might be low 80s, high 70s. And you can even go on and check it out right now. If we go on over to the GFS, you can see here, as we go on and push this forward, those cooler than average temperatures moving through, and we are staying way cooler than average. Again, will it be like 20, 30 degrees below average? Most likely not, but it's a cool down, and a cool down is a cool down by that time frame, or by that perspective. If we move on even into the actual temperatures themselves, which I know not really too accurate, especially the more further we get out because it's individual temperatures. So, and high temperatures even change during the day as well. So for the most part, but you can see that those high temperatures, I mean, low 80s, high 70s, as we move to like the end part of this week, even as you go into like parts of the mid portions. I mean, yes, you have some maybe still trying to get into the high 80s by like the beginning part of this week, but the more we get into the week, the cooler the temperatures are going to get. And low temperatures will obviously be down 60s, maybe some even the high 50s, especially up there in the far upstate. But that's it in terms of the temperatures. We will be below average. If we go on and look at our precipitation now, we will be below average in terms of precipitation. Again, high pressure right there. So that's not too much of a surprise. Cooler than average, and below average in terms of rainfall as well. So it's going to be kind of a cooler / drier week this week, which I know for a lot of people probably are very excited about that because it's not going to be raining. It's not going to ruin your outdoor plans, and you can actually go outside and not have to worry about having to come back inside to go to take like a break or anything like that, especially if you want to do outside work. This will be a fantastic week to do some outside work or anything like that, just because drier and it's a lot more cooler than it is. But that's it for the anomalies there. I do want to go out and check real quick what's going on in terms of the next 7 days. So I'm going to move on down here real quick. And you can see this is what we have here for the next, for about like the next, I'd say like the next 7 days. And you can see that there's not a whole lot of precipitation. There's not too much precipitation. I mean, you may see some maybe maxed out around like a half an inch. But again, that's not much at all. Not much at all. So a tenth of an inch to a half an inch is pretty much all that we're going to see this week, which means it definitely will be for 100% drier. 100% will be drier. But that's all that I have to say for the week. And that wraps up the week forecast again for tonight going into Saturday. That covers that. So let's go on and talk about the tropics. The tropics now. So we have Fernand out here still. It got upgraded around 5 miles an hour, now a 45-mile-per-hour storm. It's expected probably to get around to a 60-mile-per-hour storm, which is still a tropical storm, but it has no threat to any sort of land or anything like that. So this will continue to kind of just move its way through. And even if you go through like the next 5 days, honestly, this thing will be out of here by like the next 3 days or so. They don't even have a 5-day forecast cone for it just because it's going to get, I mean, it's just going to go far and it's not going to be a threat to anybody. So this is kind of just a fish storm, just causing some stuff for fish, but other than that, for us and just anybody on land in general, this won't cause anything. So now that that is done, we have this one over here. Disturbance 1 that says east of the Windward Islands, invest 99. The tropical wave just east of the Windward Islands is producing a large area of shower and thunderstorms with winds to near gale force. These conditions are expected to affect the Windward and the Leeward Islands tonight and Monday. Earlier, reconnaissance aircraft data indicated that the system did not have a closed low-level circulation. Another Air Force reconnaissance aircraft is scheduled to investigate the system overnight if necessary. The disturbance is expected to reach the central Caribbean Sea on Tuesday, where conditions are forecast to become less favorable for additional development. So this has a 30% chance of forming over the next 48 hours and over the next 7 days. If you remember, I was talking about this system yesterday because I said that this might be a potential system that we might have to watch for, and the models again still are kind of all over the place still. This batch right here is not, this is the actual hurricane models right here. Most of them have it going straight. You have a couple that go to the north, but they die out. These ones over here again, they kind of go down towards like Central America, but nothing for South Carolina there. If we go to the GFS, again, doesn't have it going too far out and no threat to South Carolina there either. But then you have the GEPS, which this one actually shows a bit more of a more interesting track. You have a couple stragglers that bring a storm maybe like up there like in the Gulf potentially. And then you have some, again, most of them that travel over towards Central America. So is it still something to be aware of and to be watching for? Yes, because you do still have a couple of stragglers out here. But in terms of should anybody be concerned, absolutely not. So that's it for the tropics. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with Mr. Chris first, who says, good evening, everyone. Had a great day here. Hope yours was great. Good evening to you. My day was great. Thank you so much for asking. Mr. Chris also then says, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe button, share it with those you know, and help the channel grow and get information out to those who need it. That is 100% correct. We've had 17 people tune in, and we only have 9 likes. So eight people tuned in and decided to not hit the like button. So, you know, if you are part of that 8 people, go on and hit the like button. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. My Nana says, hello, Jay. Hello to you. Mr. Chris says, welcome to another week. It is another start to a week. Trail then says, greetings, everyone. Hot day, but lovely and productive. That is fantastic to hear. Fantastic to hear. Mr. Ethne says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Thad says, good evening, Joseph. I hope you had an awesome weekend. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Good evening to you. My Aunt Lula then says, good evening, everyone. I pray that all had a great day. No rainfall, but it was very hot. Thank you so much for that weather update. And all was good with me. Then my cousin Cheryl then says, good evening, everyone. Weatherman. Good evening, Weatherman. Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. I'm over in Philly today. The weather was mild. It wasn't too hot. It was comfortable. So keep up the good work and know that we love you. Thank you so much for that message. And thank you so much for that weather report over there in Philly. Mr. Griston says exactly As I said, the 10-degree temperature change will be a blessing. It sure will. Charlton also says, yes, cooler weather. And that is true. You know, even though I'm a summer fan, not a winter fan, not really too much of a fall fan either. But I will say it's nice to maybe have like a good week to where it's just cooler weather. Um, and then, you know, obviously get back to that heat after a while. But for the most part, I will say that I will enjoy the break as well for this week. And then my best friend Shema says, "Hey Joseph, hello to you." I think this is his maybe second time tuning in. So hello to you. And then that's it. So let's go on now and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina, that being San Antonio, Raleigh, Philadelphia, and Duncan, Oklahoma. And if you don't know why we talk about those 4 locations, it's because we have people from those areas that tune in almost nightly. So starting off with San Antonio first, low temperatures tonight 77, high temperatures tomorrow at 98, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 77. There is no precipitation that is expected at all tonight, and then there is no precipitation that is expected tomorrow as well. If we go on and talk about that severe weather, even though you have pretty much been in the clear for severe weather and excessive rainfall for a good little bit now, no severe weather is expected. And if you go on over into excessive rainfall, nothing there either. So no excessive rainfall, no severe weather is expected either. For Raleigh, you have low temperatures tonight at 70, high temperatures tomorrow at 88, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 60. There is no precipitation tonight. Same thing with tomorrow and tomorrow night as well. For excessive rainfall, there is no excessive rainfall that is expected there. And then for severe weather, you do not have a threat for any sort of severe weather. Philadelphia being the 3rd location with low temperatures tonight at 66, high temperatures tomorrow at 84, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 68. Slight chance of showers tonight. We will also have some patchy fog tonight, and then same thing with tomorrow morning, but no precipitation is expected there though. For severe weather, no severe weather is expected, but to your west, they might receive some severe weather, like in Williamsport and State College and Harrisburg in Pennsylvania, but that's for tonight, and that's for damaging winds. For excessive rainfall, there is no threat for tonight. Same thing for tomorrow, and just for the next 5 days, there's going to be no threat for any sort of excessive rainfall there. Now, for the 4th and final location being Duncan, Oklahoma, low temperatures tonight at 71, high temperatures tomorrow at 89, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 64. No precipitation is expected tonight, but a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. And is there a chance for excessive rainfall? Actually for like the next couple of days. You do have a chance for excessive rainfall tomorrow. That's for isolated flash flooding. You also have another chance again on Tuesday, isolated flash flooding, and then again on Thursday, isolated flash flooding. That is for minor flooding / isolated flash flooding. Again, that's for Monday, tomorrow, Tuesday, also going into Thursday. And then for severe weather, no severe weather is expected for you. And that's it for the 4 locations. So let's go on now and look at what's going on throughout the entire U.S. A front will bring chances of showers and thunderstorms over the central Rockies and the southern plains. Heavy rain is also possible in southern Arizona. A dangerous heat wave will continue across the Pacific Northwest. Again, that's from Washington, Idaho, and Northern California, even going into Oregon. Hot, dry conditions and lightning may cause new fire starts in the Cascades. Conversely, a cold front will bring unseasonably cool temperatures to much of the lower 48, especially the eastern U.S. So a good amount of stuff is going on, and so I definitely say it's definitely not quiet inside of the U.S. Definitely is not quiet. So let's go on and check out my email because we did get some pictures. This one right here came from my cousin Thad. He said, the weather is hot, but the garden is thriving. Let me go on and show that real quick. This is the pictures. that he sent me of all of the stuff that he has been growing. So thank you so much for the pictures. Let me go and give you a hand clap for that. So yes, thank you so much for the pictures. If you want to send me a picture like Thad did with this wonderful picture, you can by sending them to scweather360@gmail.com, scweather360@gmail.com. Just make sure that it is weather related. Make sure it is weather related or has something to do with the weather, kind of like in that circle. And so that's all that's all I have inside my email for tonight. Let me see. I don't see anything else. Let me go and check out the chat one more time. I don't see anything else inside the chat as well. So I'm going to assume that we are about done for tonight. Top fans for tonight. That's the chat. Top fans for tonight. Mr. Chris is at number 1. Trail is at number 2. And then my cousin Cheryl is at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans for tonight. If you want to be a top fan, you have to be active inside the chat, and you have to be here early, because I believe it's a first come first served basis, to where whoever gets to the top first remains at the top, unless I stream or went live for longer. But I don't know exactly how it works still, but for the most part, I know there's like a first come first served basis pretty much. But that's all that I have. If you have not, again, hit the like button or the subscribe button. Make sure you go and do so. We're at 580 subscribers, trying to get to 600. We are 20 subscribers away from that 600 goal. So let's go on and get there. I will be back tomorrow for your Monday morning forecast update. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Sunday evening, and hopefully you have a great start to your week.
Off of your feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk, and I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk and you talk that talk, you knocks me out off of my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. How, 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 how. How, 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 how. Hey, hey. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk and talk that talk, you knocks me out off my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down off of your feet. How, 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 how. Hey, hey.